Talk about a very irrational market we are seeing today. The SPY is down 1.24%. It should, in my opinion, be down even lower than that. Fed Bullard is speaking right now about balance sheet runoff, about raising rates, how they are behind the curve, and the markets are not reacting to that all too much, but they react positively on the talk from Secretary Blinken today in front of NATO about how Russia is essentially going to invade. There's almost no way to stop it unless Russia comes out now and says they are not going to and de-escalates the situation, which sounded like the situation was getting a whole hell of a lot worse. And we actually seen that last night when this article came out, how Ukraine is basically bombing the Lugansk People's Militia, which is like terrorists that Russia sends in to Ukraine to fight the Ukraine government. That's been happening for 8 years. So the markets are acting very, very irrational today, popping on bad news, dropping on good news. It makes 0 sense. But AMC is doing wonderful, up 0.76%. And considering today is a very weird day, nonetheless, I guess that's maybe the best way to put it, AMC is kind of doing its own thing, which is really, really good to see, and we're going to go over all of the data that you guys need to know. So, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is TCI. Thank you for joining us. Don't short the like button. Make sure to hit the like button. Short the SPY, short whatever else you want, but not the like button or the subscribe button. So hit the subscribe button as well as comment down below. Also, if you guys want to get totally free stock, check out the links in the description for Mumu, Weeble, and Public. And also, if you guys want to join us in our trading community, check out the link down below, pinned in the top comment, and follow me on Twitter. Now, let's dive into the situation a little bit more as the SPY is starting to rally a little bit right now. We could see that AMC Short Interest. Let's go ahead and refresh this. Ortex has us sitting at 20.97%. Current shares that are sold short of 107.63 million shares. Cost to borrow max is doing some very, very weird things as well. It was almost at 4% yesterday. Now it's at 1.9%. I don't believe these numbers. Let's put that out there. I don't believe these numbers. I think the cost to borrow max it is really a lot higher. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% in most cases if you wanted to borrow stock. And that's why the utilization is 100%, because nobody's going to lend out stock at 1.9% when the stock is even up today 1% and the markets are down over 1%. So I take it for what it is. I don't believe the cost to borrow numbers down here at all, and I really never have. They've never been reflective of what the data is telling us. But the days to cover is sitting at 2.38, so that is also looking good. But look at this. Look at this. The option flow sentiment is 10% positive for the day. You've seen a little bit of a switch compared to what we have been seeing, and you're only seeing 5 orders totaling $620,000 for the day. So not too much activity going on from the hedge funds or institutions that want to go long on AMC. There's not a high dollar amount that is flowing in or out of AMC today. So do keep that in mind. And like I said, we have Fed Bullard speaking right now, and he's really going to move the markets in one direction or the other with probably the final statement. So by the time you guys are probably seeing this video, if not shortly after, that's when you'll see that final move from Bullard's statements. So do keep that in mind. As far as earnings that are coming out after hours, today you're going to see Roku, Sandstorm, which is a gold like mining company, Dropbox, Sunrun, and Redfin. Those are going to be the big ones. Yamaha Gold and Shake Shack as well. And then Friday before market opens, you see John Deere and DraftKings. So DraftKings, that's one of my bigger holdings, and that's going to be very interesting. Hopefully, I mean, it doesn't get too clapped at this point. All of fintech is taking a nosedive right now. Your Squares, PayPal's, SoFi, Affirm, everything that has to do with financials and fintech is taking a massive hit. So it's going to get a little weird out there. If you can bear through the pain, that's where you get the gains. Same thing for AMC. If you could bear through this whole pain of going down all the way to $13, you would have since been rewarded quite favorably for that. And that's what I expect in the broad markets as well. it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But if you can hold on, that's where the money is actually made. Now let's take a look at the federal funds rate, basically market prediction. So we could see that 66.3% of market participants believe we are getting a 0.25% rate hike. That's it. So the expectations for this 0.5% rate hike are really going down, now sitting at 33.7%, and that's going to give us some room to make a move to the upside here in the short term. This ultimately makes the long-term situation that much worse because, like Fed Bullard is saying right now, if they are too far behind the curve and inflation does not go down, which he says historically it does not go down without Fed policy, Fed intervening, then you're going to see a Fed put in a bad situation where they have to start aggressively raising rates 0.5% at a time every single meeting, and that's what is going to crush the economy. So the higher this expectation gets for only 0.25%, the more pain I do expect to see in the long term, and that's really what markets are pricing in. This is markets pricing in. So if we do get a 0.5% rate hike and the markets are not expecting that, that's when you really get a major sell down in the short term and then a longer term rally. Vice versa, if you see the market's pricing in a 0.5%, coming by March 16th, 3 weeks, 6 days, 1 hour and 12 minutes away to be precise, then you will see that, short-term rally, long-term, decline in the market. So very important, something I track on a daily basis, and it's very surprising actually that inflation keeps getting worse and the expectations keep getting more dovish. So very interesting right there. The max pain is sitting at $19 by this Friday. And as far as the Stonko tracker data, we do have, let's go ahead and refresh this page, 44,000 calls that are in the money, 277,000 calls that are out of the money, 36,000 puts that are in the money, and 121,000 puts that are out of the money. So you could set yourself up for this mega bounce scenario. If Fed Bullard is dovish and you see the markets react favorably, which you are definitely seeing right now, then you could inevitably see one of those mega bounce like scenarios coming tomorrow, especially if the Russia situation does not evolve to be something worse, right? So also very important to keep in mind the Russia-Ukraine situation, and that just, like I said, does not look very good at the current moment. Now, as far as what else is going on, you do have Fed Bullard, and then you also have Fed Mester speech that comes out later on today. And he is a little bit more on the dovish side, so that could also help markets rally here in the shorter term. You do have existing home sales as well coming out tomorrow. So some more Fed speakers, and that's definitely going to move the markets a little bit more. And just keep that in mind that there's going to be a lot of data points being thrown around here in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. If you see the markets react violently, it's because of one of those data points. So that is really all you guys need to know as far as that situation, as far as AMC. We know this probe has really stopped a lot of that manipulation. That's why you see AMC going up over 1% on a day where the markets are down over 1%. It's because a lot of that manipulation is no longer able to take place, as this probe has involved liquidity providers as well as the major Wall Street banks like Morgan Stanley, Goldman, and it says other Wall Street firms. And we know the only 3 liquidity providers to the broad markets is Citadel, Goldman Sachs, and Virtue Americas LLC. So it definitely looks like AMC right now has its chance to fly and do what it would normally do minus the manipulation. So all of that looking very good, and you guys should be, very happy with where we sit with AMC for the day, as well as just what we are looking at going ahead. I mean, what's possible without manipulation? That's what we're going to see. What is going to happen? It's kind of phenomenal that it really took this massive probe to really calm down a lot of that manipulation. And this might be an unfavorable opinion here, but that is my opinion. I don't think there's as much manipulation happening now than we have previously seen. So as far as the actual technicals, something that I do actually want to point out, it does look like we're starting to form this small wedge right here. You guys can see we have 3 touches to this. We can go ahead and move that around. You can tweak this to however you guys want, but you're definitely seeing this wedge that has formed, right? and it looks like we're narrowing down to a potential breakout moment, and it would not surprise me if that actually happened tomorrow, as we have really been consolidating but trending to the upside at the same time. We are currently sitting at $19.76 per share, and it does look like to me, if I was going to make a prejudgment here, which tomorrow could be a good or a bad call, that we would rally. And ultimately, if we break out above 20 and close above 20, that's what I want to see. I don't know if it'll happen tomorrow. My gut says it will. We're very close. We're only about 28 cents away, 22 cents away right now. So very, very possible. The volume has been relatively low as well. And that's another thing that I want to point out, is that you're not really seeing that FOMO. You're not seeing, any kind of crazy volume. Even the day we popped 15%. We only had about 75 million shares that traded hands. So once that volume does come back into the stock, once you see the FOMO buying that actually kicks in, that's when you're going to see a major rally. That's when you could see the 20, 30, 40, 50% pops in AMC. But also, do keep in mind, you're not going to wake up one day and the stock's going to be $10,000. You're not going to miss the MOS. You have plenty of time. Best case scenario, you wake up and the stock is from here sitting at around 20 bucks. Maybe you wake up and it's 40 or 45. That's really what I would expect, and I just want to put that in here so everybody is on the same page. As far as the MACD, that is very bullish, and we are far above the 20-day simple moving average and the Bollinger Bands, hugging this top band, which also is another sign to me we could see that breakout here very shortly. You do also see the 50-day moving average sitting at $21.94 per share, so that is also not too far away. So if we break out above 20, we could just break straight out past the 50-day, and it wouldn't even surprise me to break out past $23 per share, this next resistance level that we will be facing. So it's going to be very interesting. We're going to have to see what happens. Markets coming back down. I'm sure Fed Buller just said something a little bit crazy, or the Russia-Ukraine situation. If they do invade, theoretically, like tonight, I would expect a major drawback in the broad indexes as well as AMC. So I guess that's my take on everything. If you guys found value, if not just simply entertainment out of this video, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to check out those links in the description of this video to get yourself some free stock, especially Moomoo. They are a great trading brokerage. They give you fast fills, free news, great technical analysis, and a trading community in and of itself. You could talk to people, you can listen to earnings reports. I was watching Nvidia's earnings report last night, and you're getting all this feedback from different investors, and it really helps you to solidify your thoughts, and that is only available on Moomoo. So definitely check that out if you guys have not already. Get a free share of Lucid as well as 5 free stocks. So check that out. You can't go wrong with getting yourself some free money. Same story with Webull as well. It's all for the free money at the very worst, as well as Public is also linked down there. They do not use payment for order flow. And like I said, if you guys want to join a great trading community, that was a alert coming out from that community. Check that out, pinned in the top comment. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.